Welcome back, everybody. In this video, our focus is going to be exercise number 12, and everything that I mention to you in exercise number 12 will also be applicable to exercise 13, 14, and 15. So all of these exercises will be a part of this video, okay? So in exercise 12, two things I want to go over first before getting into the exercise itself. First, we have the time signature, which is 6/4. 6/4 is not a very common time signature, but the reason it's 6 is because that is the length of the arpeggio, for no other reason than that. He's written it in 6/4 for no other reason than that, okay? 6 quarter notes, okay? At the end of each of these 4 exercises, you're going to come across these double dots, these 2 dots, and then a thick bar line. Those are called repeat signs. And repeat signs are giving you a direction. They're telling you that you have to repeat. So what do you have to repeat? Well, usually you'll see a repeat sign at the end of a staff line and then a repeat sign at the beginning. One repeat sign facing one direction and the other repeat sign facing the other direction. And you would repeat everything that's inside those repeat signs, okay? In this instance, we don't have a second repeat sign. We just have the end of the exercise with a repeat sign. So in this instance, we are going to basically go back to the beginning, and you're going to repeat the beginning, or in this case, these 2 measures. And you would just repeat over and over and over. Well, I take that back. It's commonly understood that a repeat sign means you repeat once and then you continue on after you've repeated. In this instance, it's just an arpeggio exercise for daily practice, which is what it says in the book. So in these repeat signs, you can just interpret them as just do it as many times as you like, because it's a technical exercise, and technical exercises we want to do as often as possible to kind of make it become second nature to us, whatever skill or technique that we happen to be practicing, okay? All right, so that's my spiel on those 2 things. Let's go ahead and get into the exercise. The exercise goes as follows. Thumb on the 4th string, which is D. Index on the 3rd string, which is G. Middle on the 2nd, which is B. Index on the 3rd, which is G. Middle on the 2nd, which is B. And then ring finger on the 1st, which is E. That is the pattern. So here it is once. That's the first measure. Here it is twice. That's the second measure. We hit the repeat sign. Now we start over. And we just keep doing it. Okay? But we don't do it mindlessly. We focus on a specific aspect of this arpeggio, and there's a number of them. So let's start with the first one. The first one is going to be preparing. Okay? So when you play your arpeggio, it's what you want to do first. This is the first thing you want to do is when you play the thumb, since that is the first one, when you play your thumb, your index finger should prepare itself by placing itself on the 3rd string so that it's ready to play the 3rd string. So at the very moment that you play that 4th string, index finger comes down. Now you're ready to play the 3rd string with your index finger. When you play the index finger, as soon as you play it, your middle finger has to prepare onto the 2nd string. So it's ready to play it. So it's going to be on the string before you have to play it. When you play the middle, you're going to prepare the index finger again. So now it comes back down, and now it's ready. You play the index, prepare the middle. You play the middle and prepare the ring. And then you play the ring at the end. When you play the ring at the end, by the way, prepare the thumb. And now you've gone full circle and you do it again. Okay, so here it is in its entirety. I'll try and play it. I'll play it slow so you can kind of see it. Prepare, 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 and prepare. You have to, don't forget to prepare the thumb at the end. When you play that ring finger, you got to start over, so you got to prepare the thumb. And the reason we do this is so that we gain accuracy with our fingers, so that we will not be hitting an incorrect string later on down the road. Okay, so that's preparing. The second thing you can do is you could do the same thing, but you could play the arpeggio again, but without preparing. And this is difficult because it's going to feel like you're going to miss a string. because preparing our fingers onto the string before we play it gives us a sense of security. We know that when we want to play that third string, when we want to attack the third string with that finger, in this case the index, we know it's going to be the third string because we're already on the third string. But when you don't prepare, there is no sense of security. What you're going to do is you're going to start your attack in the air as opposed to starting your attack with the finger already on the string. Okay? And that's going to cause a lot more mistakes. You will be missing strings. Sometimes you'll just attack the air, like you won't even hit a string. It's bound to happen. But this is the secret to playing legato. Legato means that you play notes and they're connected to each other, meaning there's no silence in between one note and the next note. The gap separating the two is almost non-existent. And we call that legato. That's smooth playing. Everything is, again, connected. Okay? And this is the secret to that, by playing without preparing. So now we play by starting our motion in the air. So now we have this. Thumb, index, middle, index, middle, ring, thumb. And that's, again, is going to feel like you're going to miss. You're going to have no sense of security in that instance, okay? So we have preparation and non-preparation. What we could also do is we could play each of these exercises by replacing the bass string in each of these exercises with the other two bass strings. So in exercise 12, you'd replace the 4th string with the 5th, and then again with the 6th. In exercise 13, it starts with the 6th string, and then you would play that one with the 5th and the 4th. In 14, it's written as the 6th string in the bass. You could play the 5th string instead. You could play the 4th string instead. So thumb control, and this is a little bit more involved than just playing this note instead of that note. So what you can do is first play the exercise a number of times with your preferred bass note. In this case, I'm playing the 4th string. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to the 5th string. Get used to that. And then you play the 6th string and get used to that. Oops. So I'm already missing. So on and so forth. What you could also do is you could play each exercise once, and each time you play the exercise, you change bass strings. So here I am playing the 4th string in the bass, now the 5th string in the bass, and now the 6th string in the bass. Return to the 5th, and then the 4th, and I just go back. So I go 4th, 5th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, 5th, as many times as I feel like it. Okay. Next, this is still part of thumb control. When you play the let's start. We play the 4th string in the bass. When you play the 5th string, play a rest stroke. And the reason you want to play a rest stroke is so that you stop the bass note that you played on the 4th string, so that you only hear these 5 notes and not the 4th string. You don't want this note to bleed over into the new bass note. Okay? When you play the 5th string and you have to go to the 6th, you're going to play the 6th with the rest stroke to stop the note that you played in the 5th string. Okay? So let me show you. 4th string, 5th with the rest stroke, 6th with the rest stroke. Otherwise, you get this. You get all of these strings to ring together. And it's really important that we learn to control our thumb and mute bass strings as necessary, because when you get to pieces, actual musical pieces, they're going to require you to stop bass strings over and over and over again. Okay? Now, on the way back down, we play the 6th string, and then we play the 5th string and return to the 6th string to stop the 6th string. Now we play the 4th string and return to the 5th to stop the 5th string. And now we play the 5th string, and now we're back to the rest strokes. Rest stroke, fifth, return to the sixth. Play the fourth, return to the fifth. It's just a cycle. Rest stroke, rest stroke. Okay, so we have, again, summary: preparation, non-preparation, and thumb control. That thumb control was a kind of a bigger one. Now, we could also change the position of our hand to change the color of the sound that we produce on the guitar. So playing again, so your standard hand position, the exercise number 12. That's what it sounds like. If I were to turn my hand and play again, I get a different sort of tone out of the guitar. Again, here I'll show you one more time. It sounds a bit warmer, a bit round, a bit fatter. And that is going to be very useful in the future. All of these subtle changes, this subtle change in your tone, when you can do that on command, it's going to make your performance sound really nice, because it's all about these subtle nuances that is going to make your performance stand out. Okay, so again, I'm in just your normal hand position here, following through, going into the palm of my hand. Now I'm going to turn my hand, and I'm going to just play the same way, but the angle in which I'm playing the strings is going to change that tone color. Okay, you can also practice that. You can also move your hand in this direction, play ponticello. The strings aren't as bouncy back here as they are over here, and obviously you can tell that difference in tone color, right? This is where we normally play. As we move down, it's brighter. Okay, we can also go in the other direction. We call this tosto. See the difference in sound? So you got three big or main colors coming out of your guitar. You got your standard, I don't even know if there's a term, but it's just your standard hand position. Normal, ponticello, and tosto. And all of those we use the range, honestly, of the strings to add color to our performances. So that would be the fourth one. So again, preparation, non-preparation, thumb control, and hand position and tone color. Okay, and then the last one we can focus on is I just drew a blank. The last one that we can focus on is the dynamics. So we can start by playing the arpeggio quietly, and we call this piano in music, soft. Piano just means soft. And gradually crescendo, meaning getting a little louder, little by little, until we end up playing louder and louder. Okay? And then decrescendo, meaning gradually playing softer and softer. Until you fade out, okay? And that is another aspect, another skill or technique that you can practice with exercise 12. Well, with all four of these exercises. So in summary, you have preparation, non-preparation, thumb control, tone color by changing your hand position or moving up and down the strings, and dynamics. So getting loud, getting soft. You can also practice tempo, getting a little bit faster, but that's really dangerous if you're not patient and you're not disciplined, because you may have a tendency to speed up and start to ignore the mistakes that you're making. So if you do want to practice your tempo, make sure you go very slow and steady. So get a metronome, set it at a specific tempo, and move it notch by notch, just a little at a time. If you make a mistake, stop right there and stay at that tempo until you no longer make mistakes for a determined length of time, okay? And that's about it. So this, again, applies to exercises 12, 13, 14, and 15, all right? And again, they're all open strings, so and the index, middle, and ring will always be on the same string, and the thumb is going to be in charge of the bass strings, all right? So practice these exercises every day, basically forever, ideally, and once you start to become more familiar with all of the different sort of techniques, you surprisingly may still be revisiting these simple arpeggios to kind of keep your knives sharp, I guess is the best way to say it, okay? So practice these exercises, and when you're ready, I will see you in exercise number 16.